Good morning. It is a glorious day today. I can see the workings of the Maker in today's activities. God controls the weather. Today, the weather's keeping many folks indoors. But He moved His chosen to a more protective location to be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. And today, I, for one, am praying that God keeps His hand on Donald J. Trump and the rest of his cabinet and his family, and he will. He managed to stop all those bullets from coming in. I guess they found an entire Bronco load of high-powered 50 caliber and AK-47 shells trying to make its way across the border. At least it got caught. Hope none of the others got missed. Or that there was others, please. Hopefully we caught it all. But no matter what. Good morning, Billy Bob. Good morning, Florida Mom. Good morning, Miss Angie. Miss Angie, as soon as it gets set up, I have someone else that's setting up a StreamYard because I can't afford StreamYard. And going to send me the link. And after we do our prayer, we're going to attempt to have a live panel to discuss today's activities. And guys, don't panic. There's no such thing as a preemptive pardon. You must first at least be charged with a crime before you can be pardoned for one. These preemptive pardons just points out the guilty. Don't worry about it. It won't hold up. I've done Ask Gort this morning on X, and no, and then I went and I read my Constitution, and guess what? You have to first be charged with a crime before you can be pardoned for one. Common sense. He's just pointing out who the criminals are, doing that for us. Isn't that so sweet of him to do that on his last day? Why, he knows that Dr. Fauci is guilty. Well, he knows that Millie is guilty. He knows that the J6 committee members are all guilty, or he wouldn't try to fake us out and think he can give a preemptive pardon. Won't hold up in court. They might get tied up in court a little bit, but it won't hold up in court, guys. There's no such thing as a preemptive pardon for someone who's not even been charged as of the date of the pardon for a crime. Hi, Danny. Please pray that Biden will not be able to pardon Dr. Fauci as he's trying to do last minute pardons. Danny, I just told you. Go read your Constitution. I know you carry one. Go read it on what it says about pardons. You can't grant clemency unless somebody's been found guilty of a crime. You can't pardon someone unless they have been charged with a crime. Therein lies the loophole. to the whole thing. And you know what? I got a feeling they're going to find out that Biden has been mentally incompetent for quite some time. And as a person who's mentally incompetent to do anything, like be tried for crimes you committed against the United States when you took classified documents out of a SCIF as a senator. Yeah, can't be held accountable for that because he's not mentally competent enough to stand trial, according to the Horowitz report. Yeah. Yeah, and manipulation, folks. It's all mirrors and screens. They're trying to pull the strings. They're trying to make people believe that he can pardon just anybody he wants to, whether they've committed a crime or not, or been charged with the crime. You can only pardon crimes. And actually, you can only pardon federal crimes. Can't pardon state crimes, can't pardon county crimes, can't pardon those kind of crimes. I read it today, broke it down, really, really looked at it. And everywhere I looked, it said that you got to commit a crime before you can get a pardon. So, guys, don't worry about it. Hello, Dan. You still looking, huh? All right. Okay, guys, it's 9:37. We have a little bit of time to talk here. I've got several things up that I could share with you. We're presently monitoring the going on inside the Capitol, but apparently Trump still has not left the tea. Yeah, they had a tea at the White House. That's kind of the saying goodbye deal. Now there is a full schedule. Let's see if I can share that with you. Uh, let's see. This one right here. This is Trump's schedule. He went to St. John's and that tea at the White House. And the next thing is the swearing in ceremony at the U.S. Capitol. Then a farewell to the former president and vice president, U.S. Capitol departure ceremony. Anyway, there's a whole schedule. You can go look it up. It was easy to find. Uh, this is from New York 4. So, uh, I honestly believe that the good Lord moved him indoors because only the good Lord controls the weather. And I'm sorry, 11 degrees standing outside, and I don't care how warm you're dressed, 11 degrees standing outside in the cold can be harmful to many people. Hypothermia can set in before they know it. And if there's any kind of wind factor added to that, it becomes even more dangerous. And I don't believe that man did that. I believe that God did that. We've been praying. Danny, poor baby, got anarchy princess on your butt. Oh, well. Let's take a look at that. Let's see if I can bring that up. We've got 10 minutes yet. That's not coming up right like I wanted it to. Okay. There's nothing there. I'm going to stop sharing that. And let me see if I can bring up another one here. See what's going on here. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm slow with this. Okay, I can share this a minute. Share my screen here.
Take a short commercial. Dave Bratt, your thoughts as we get ready. We're 80 minutes away from President Trump returning as president of the United States. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I'll just give folks, if you haven't ever taken your kids or family to the dome of the U.S. Capitol, equally iconic, right? All religious, the figures up at the top, they look small to the eyeball. They're 20, 30-foot figures. All religious iconography pointing toward the heavens
Danny,
as you look toward
believe.
the dome. And then all the American patriotism from George Washington crossing the Delaware, the great paintings around. And I think we're seeing President Trump driving over to the rotunda, but make sure you get your family there because it is just, you have to go there and bring your kids once in your life.
The good offices of Real America's Voice, we're not going to have no more commercial breaks until President Trump's inaugural address is over. So for the next hour and a half, they're now heading for the White House up there. You guys can probably see better than I can. The person that just coming in inside the Rotunda Dome, and I believe it's only been done once before with President Reagan on his second term. Right? It was bitter cold that day. I think it was 6-7 degrees. Right? They had it inside the dome itself. There were 1,000. As of last night, and that's coming from the 250,000 that were here down to I think 600. There's going to be.
By the way, what you're seeing right now is the live shot. That is President Trump's motorcade. He's currently on his way, making up. I think he's driving by the FBI headquarters right there, and he's heading.
That's the FBI headquarters. That after cash is confirmed, we're going to take it apart.
That looks like the J. Edgar Hoover building right there. And then he's going to be heading right up from the Capitol, coming up Pennsylvania Avenue directly to the United States Capitol, where he's going to put his hand on that Bible.
If you see all the beautiful buildings that are around here in the Capitol complex,
everybody.
And then you see the FBI headquarters.
It's
brutal. It's called brutal. It's brutalist architecture. It's the fascist article of the 1930s, right? It was the theory of brutalist architecture. It's an eyesore.
I'm going to give you Catholics a shout out. Brumidi painted at the Apotheosis at the top of the dome in the Capitol. He worked for the Vatican, for the Pope. And so you're talking the top of the line. George Washington is sitting there flanked by the cherubim and seraphim and whatever. I mean, you don't get too much better than that, folks. Get your family out and take a trip.
No, it's fantastic. And that's today, instead of being on the west side of the Capitol, will be inside. President Trump will be giving, I think he'll be giving remarks. His remarks today, as I said at the speech last night, he's trying to unite the country. He's going to have a unifying speech and trying to bring the country together, as is, he's trying to do. He's going to talk, I think, a lot about the sunlit uplands, a lot about what he intends as his vision of taking the country forward after this debacle we've just had.
Well, here, go ahead. Look. The country is united. The country is united behind the agenda that they voted for in 2024 in November. That's the unity. And then the unity will be achieved through fulfilling the agenda that the American people voted for. We can't let
we can get the
behind us.
Real America's Voice. If you can get the shot
There it is.
onto the motorcades coming right below us.
Yeah.
We're
the
at
beast. There's the beast.
We're in the media
That's
center,
the
101.
solemnity. There's the
Yes.
solemnity.
There you
right?
go.
Here it comes.
There's the beast
There he
right
is.
there.
He's passing us right now.
The president of the United States is passing it. That would be Donald Trump. Also, the usurper.
Breaking up.
Have that shot.
For the kids.
Wow.
It's right to the cap.
Viral now.
We're on Constitution Avenue. We're at 10 course. The voice of MAGA, Real America's voice in the room.
We're in enemy territory. I think you're underselling. I was walking up the elevator.
Okay,
like,
Jack, you have all these folks should see when you have this motorcade, you've got paramedics, you've got paramilitary, you got military, you got Secret Service, you have all of it. But now,
oh no, but Antifa. We're too worried about Antifa, Steve. None of these guys can handle a couple of goons from Antifa, apparently.
Right.
Talk to me about these new.
Sorry, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
The new.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not knocking Solomon's reporting.
No,
to be
Solomon's
clear,
giving. No,
but
Solomon's giving you the straight skinny. That's what they're talking about.
If that's the excuse, then I want to find the guy. I want to find the guy who did that, and I'll send him to an Antifa meeting.
Talk to me about these new the antennas have gotten a lot of visibility on the vehicles themselves.
So what you're looking at on those antennas, that's counter drone technology. Those are jammers that operate on. It's basically a randomized jammer. So they do free copying to potentially try to jam any communications between drones and their operators. This is something that really came out of the battlefield in Ukraine. It's something that we've seen in the counter-drone electronic warfare, the EW
So a quarter of $1 trillion that's Zelensky and his cronies skimmed off 20% off the top. We at least ended up with anti-drone technology.
A little bit, but
I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better.
I'll tell you
already.
what, though. One thing that the Russians do to beat that on the battlefield, by the way, and Eric Prince has talked about this on my show on Human Events, that they beat it with old tech. Steve, they just run like a fiber optic cable, basically as thin as a fishing line, but a mile long. They attach it to the drone. Boom, no signal.
Instead of having crowds up and down this street traditionally to wave and to cheer the president as he comes, the president-elect as he comes up to be greeted by the American
make
people.
It look like a funeral procession.
It looks like a funeral procession. It's absolutely. There's nobody here.
Yeah.
Just cops. It looks like the Metro Police
and the White House, the people's house, right? These are not empty phrases, and this is the Congress of the representatives of the people of the United States, and it's empty. It's barren. On a normal day, it's crawling.
It's a message.
It's a message.
It's a message.
Message received. Message received.
They're pulling up right now.
Okay.
Brad, can you see that? Because it's beyond my.
Right.
And here's the response.
They're pulling up in front of the Capitol.
The response
right
to the message is when all of the bureaucrats get fired, when we schedule all of you guys, and we take down the SES level, when we take out the 14s and all the GSs, and you're all crying to us, and the media saying, "Oh no, run the government," we're going to say sorry, you chose this course.
Okay, we're going to keep the visual up there. You can see the arrival of the president-elect and all the major entourage. John Solomon, at noon, as soon as President Trump takes the oath, my understanding is thousands of Biden people have already been given their walking papers. They're to clean out their offices and be gone by noon. I mean thousands. I think every commission, every board that people are on, they're government appointees, the 3,000 non-Senate confirmed he's got, and most of the Senate confirmed. Plus, I believe we're going to see U.S. attorneys, and I think they're going to clean out a couple of rat's nests to some of these U.S. attorneys. Maybe Southern District in New York, just a random thought. John Solomon, what are you hearing with your sources?
Well, listen, there will be a fundamentally different looking government by 5 p.m. today. There'll be Trump aides taking
while we're waiting for John, I'll let the folks at home that haven't been here, the Capitol, the architects of the city, the Capitol is connected to the White House by Pennsylvania Avenue. But looking right behind us, here's your trick question for the day. What road connects the Supreme Court in the far background to the Capitol? Answer: none. And that's the way it should be, because the Justice Department and the rule of law is supposed to be separate, independent, and following the Constitution. So architecturally, they did not connect the Supreme Court to the U.S. Capitol. They're supposed to be separate entities, and boy, I'm yearning for the day where that actually happens.
Well, in the first couple of decades, the Supreme Court was actually in the basement of the Senate, wasn't it?
Right.
In fact, I think when they gave the
you can take a tour.
the Dred Scott decision It was the old that old chamber of the Supreme Court. It moved over after, I think, the Civil War.
Yep.
Right. When this magnificent building that people see today. Dave, put us there. Now, I don't think we're going to have all members of Congress. I know you can't have spouses, but with the 600 to 1,000, and we've heard they've cut down to 600, you limit it. And I think most of the foreign dignitaries, it's very unusual. I think the first time they've ever invited foreign dignitaries. Yesterday, we had a big celebration for Bolsonaro and the Brazilians, and Bolsonaro was restricted from coming. But put us inside the Capitol. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, well, I am kind of surprised the rotunda. I can't picture that being much bigger than the House chamber where they have the State of the Union. Right?
Much smaller. Chamber is far, far larger than the rotunda. We're talking
the rotunda. People should know. So if you see the top of the Capitol, it's the rotunda directly below
it. Right. Yeah, and then below that, there's other archives, Statuary Hall below that, and it's going to be some tight quarters, but it is stunning. Visually, it's stunning, and so hopefully they get that right for President Trump.
Can we get that shot up from inside? Because Steve, I'm just going to call it out. Where's the formality of the dress of the attendees of this? The people are there. They're not. I saw Elon was wearing a tux. I'll give him that. But you're seeing people dressed like it's a country where people would understand that when you dress for a ceremonial and all the nonsense that people wear, what do they call it? The glossy shirts and all this not bedazzled, right? Bespoke, not bespoke. That's what I was going for. I was going for my Zoom. This is. It looks like another day. It's grubby. It's another day at the Capitol. Another day. They're denying him the solemnity. They're denying him. Even at least you got some white gloves there. It looks like from the Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And I don't know. I don't think it looks right at all.
Well, one of the reasons they're doing this is, to Natalie's point earlier, the symbology of this and showing that the country has come together around him. This is a multiracial, multi-ethnic of every class that we have has come together in back of President Trump. And that's what they're trying to do to deny him. They understand the days of thunder are about to start in 60 minutes.
Capitol's where you lie in state.
Do what?
Rotunda's where you lie in state, by the way.
Yes. Jimmy Carter was just there. Not with massive crowds either, I might add. Right. So this is right here. Once again, the entourage has gone by. Normally you would have screaming crowds because this is where the parade would go right afterwards. So this would already be, the staging would be up. The stands would be down the street. They'd be 5 or 6 deep right here, welcoming the new president to the Capitol for the ceremony. And yet what we have here, we have the bike police of the Metropolitan Police Bike Brigade is going by, and absolutely empty streets. I mean, it's for miles that you can see this. And so for all the hundreds of thousands, and I mean hundreds of thousands of MAGA that had tickets, you can go still to National Harbor and go to the Polish embassy working with Jack Posobiec has over. It's actually Polish.
By the way, Tanya Tay just got the text. She's over there with the boys. She's saying, so we got the Polish party over there for the MAGA watch party. Tanya's over there. Huge shout out, Dominic Chartinsky, the MEP over there. He came in, as well as Michael Rochon from Republica TV, just stepped up. They had already had a Polish-American summit that was going on for a couple of days, so they had the booking down. They said, look, just open the doors a couple hours early. Come on in.
Let's talk about that. They got the foreign. Yesterday, we put a brunch on for 4 hours. I think we had 500 people come through. We put it on for the Brazilians.
Well, the whole world is here.
The whole world. That's a little unusual, right? This is just, I think this is what President Trump draws this energy. We had a little bit of that in 2016, but heretofore, you've had ambassadors come, the ambassadors to the United States. Haven't had people come from around the world, and particularly from all the sovereigntist movements.
Well, I have a question for Natalie Winters. What are your thoughts on the fact that the vice president of the People's Republic of China, vice president, by the way, which isn't even a real title in China because nobody's elected. Xi Jinping is not the president. He's the chairman. They don't even say, in Chinese, you say Chairman Xi. What are your thoughts on him sending a high-level dignitary like that, meeting with JD Vance, and he's going to be attending here today.
I wouldn't meet with them. I think it's wrong. I think the Chinese Communist Party has been receiving better treatment and a better welcome than MAGA, frankly. Honestly, I think.
Does that upset you? You think MAGA gets that?
Of course. But I mean, look, I think that frankly, what you're seeing going on right now is almost more anti-democratic and I think election denialism than, January 6th and the MSNBC construct.
Tell me about
that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. What they're essentially saying to President Trump is, yeah, well, you can win an election, but we're not going to seat you, right? In any meaningful term, we're not going to give you the actual.
And we're not going to give you the pageantry.
And you know why? Because they want to send the message that who's running this country, it's not fundamentally changing. Right? They don't need to have an inauguration because the regime still wants to hold their power. And I think to your point about certain countries, I think the Brazilians, like we understand collectively the globalist regime that we're pushing back against, right? There's the same entities that have been involved in either the election rigging or has been involved in the elections here and in Brazil. We get the common enemy, and that common enemy is the one that is now depriving MAGA of an inauguration.
Why is she not right? I think that nails it very succinctly. They're within an hour. We're within an hour of an hour and 4 minutes of taking the oath and President Trump assuming the presidency. Tell me why. Thank you. That's great. Tell me.
Look. Oh, I mean, it's a little stunning. The only time they down the security is for J6. Nancy Pelosi. She admitted she's.
What happened? Okay. Let me share this screen. We have 1 minute to our minute of silence. This one we get to see who all's there. It's kind of choppy. Minute of silence. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Today, I'm going to remain live, and hopefully we'll be setting up when I get a chance to, I have someone else that's working on setting up a StreamYard live stream so that we can go on panel. Okay. So let me go back and see what this other page is like right now. I'm going to stop sharing this one. because I really think I like the other one better. I like the commentary, I guess. It's on Rumble too, which is a good thing. I need to unmute.
Oh no, I think the girlfriend.
His side piece.
The side piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about that, folks. Think about that. You don't get an inauguration. Jeff Bezos is in there. Gotta love it.
Right.
Jeff Bezos in there. The CCP is in there. Setting the table, folks. We're setting the table.
It doesn't look like the Imperial Capitol is ready for MAGA. You would say that? And I think in 59 minutes or an hour and 1 minute when President Trump takes charge, and we start doing the 100 executive orders, maybe as many as 50 have OSA opinions. They're talking about 100 executive actions. Yeah. Oh, this is the top of the hour. We can go ahead and take that down. Go back to the shot, guys.
How to do that?
Yeah. Thanks. We'll take that. There we go. Right there. Thank you. We're not going to take commercial breaks.
Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Oh, boo.
I thought I smelled something.
Stay classy.
I thought I smelled something.
Wow. Stay classy. Stay classy. We got the whole.
Oh no, it's just something out here. It's just coffee. It's just some coffee. That's all it was.
So we're 1 hour away from in 30 minutes, the official ceremony will start. They're starting to seat people now into the rotunda. Dave, tell me about the size of it. Could it fit 1,000 people or could it not?
I guess if you go down the grand halls a bit toward the House and the Senate, and what you just said, right? We're being gaslit here today.
Yeah.
And so the MAGA, that's what you do all day, every day. And Natalie's yelling at the country and motivating, and Jack's doing his thing. But it really does. We're starting to get some signals on trade and on one big, beautiful bill, and not moving fast enough on immigration because we're going to have to wait till May or June. And that's why the posse, I don't want to take away from any of the great news that's coming up. We got a ton of, the days of thunder.
The direction of this, folks, will tell you, starting at noon is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
President Trump committed yesterday. He said by sundown today,
right,
the course of the country will be
Obama alone, trouble in paradise.
Paradise.
Trouble in paradise. Solo Obama. We got. By the way, Brad, I love what you just said. This is gaslighting. Yeah. That's exactly the right word for how I feel right now. They are gaslighting you. They're gaslighting you into thinking that.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Because they want you to think this is a real inauguration. They say, okay, fine, it's not outside, but we'll give them like a little rinky-dink ceremony inside. Nobody's going to dress up.
And Bezos' girlfriend show up, right? I know that's a documentary, but let's continue on. Right? The majesty of this is important because of where President Trump, the hero's journey in this process. Remember, 4 years ago, Dan, that's when we started the show by going back to January 20th, 20 January of 2021. When President Trump went to Andrews Air Force, he did not come to the inauguration. When he went to Andrews Air Force Base, none of the political class was there to see him off. We had Boris Epstein reporting
live.
Bit of
a reprieve. There's MTG.
All right.
MTG. Okay, good.
We
got some MAGA. That's sick. So we got MTG. Oh, I don't think all the members
Rubio, Bessent.
Well, that's a cabinet right there. Scott Bessent, Ernst Scott Bessent.
I think that's Tulsi.
Lauren Sanchez again.
Yep. Maybe she's in the cabinet now. You never know.
The Washington Post is everywhere, Steve.
Okay, we need a power source for this.
Washington Post is everywhere.
We need a power source for our monitor. Okay, let's try to grab that.
Trump family now.
The other part of gaslighting, by the way, is what comes after gaslighting. If they're really smart and really strategic, is they throw you a love bomb.
Yes.
They'll tell you, hey, here's what we're going to do for you after you get elected. Right. We're going to be told the degrees of freedom we get to operate within, right?
Natalie, is that how you do with the love bomb?
Natalie, she leads a monkish existence. All she does is work.
I do. I
guess she does. I get that complaint.
Gaslight him, then I love it.
Beautiful bill, and we're aiming for May or June. And then if you'll notice those bills, just like the spending bills, that immigration's attached to. So they're not giving us a separate bill on the MAGA stuff. right? That's not going to happen in the first month or two. So you get momentum, and President Trump goes, boom, Bill, everybody's got to vote for, because the speaker and leadership's going to say, well, I only got a majority of 2 or 3.
But Murdoch, hang on. The Wall Street Journal and Murdoch already gaslit us. They had a poll that came out Friday that said people want MAGA light. Yeah, they like some of the headlines of President Trump.
Oh, here it comes. MAGA light. MAGA light. There it is.
That's the love.
There it is. No, we want MAGA. We want MAGA. Just MAGA light. Just MAGA light. Not the full stuff.
Also, that gets down to the thing about deporting just criminal aliens.
Yes.
To me, all 15 million are here are criminals because they broke the law to get here. Right. And they have to go. This is where the fight's going to be. It's going to start at noon. The Days of Thunder start in less than an hour.
And by the way, this is all Jordan Peterson lingo in a way, right? This language is associated with psychopaths, right? This is the language you expect by people who are total control freaks, narcissists. Right.
Explain that to the audience.
And who's your man? Who's our man in Rome? I'm blanking on this. Harnwell.
Ben Harnwell.
Harnwell, this sociopathic overlords, right?
Yes.
He hit it.
Yes.
That's what's coming.
Yes.
Right. And so we're told what we're allowed to do. They want us to be.
The Supreme Court's entering. They're entering right now. I see on the split screen right there. Supreme Court entering. There we go.
By the way, you always see that.
Can somebody give Amy Coney Barrett, just hand her a job offer somewhere so we get an exit seat?
Excuse me, I had to sneeze. This is really choppy. You see if the other one looks better on Rumble. Still the best feed I got. I want you to watch this and not me, and I don't know how to shut me off. President there. Well, Barron Trump really believe he's headed for greatness. He'd have to sleep in the Lincoln bedroom because he's so tall. Thank you, Florida Mama Bear, for accepting the rant. Hey, I wonder, will he come into God Bless America? Or here comes the chief? Or will he stick to the traditional pomp and ceremony? Or will he break the rules and come in doing the Trump dance? I don't know. So. love them to see start here, start setting FJB. That's me. Okay. And they go, swearing in actually happens at 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. It's 11:27. Of course, Trump's always been funny. As I look. Copy. She reminds me of Mary Poppins. She looks so damper. I love our First Lady and her son. Oh, Barron is a wonderful, wonderful young man. Hail to the chief. Welcome, Danny, Mobo, Florida Mom, the bear. Shit, they just blocked my stream. Yes, my stream just went down. Oh well. Guess I'll have to order another one.